All right, boys. So here we are on Lioness Defense Season 6. And we already have the characters that are pretty much buffed, which is going to be the new Tristan. And then you also have Elizabeth, which is kind of leaning more so toward the goddess team. But again, Tristan can work on any type of team, honestly. Again, Tristan can work on demons. He can work on Forkoa. Or again, like I said before, you can work on goddess team. Now again, the buff that you get for using these specific characters for the Lioness Defense, which you see down here, they do not stack. So usually it's best to try to use one of these characters unless you want to use both for the funsies. Again, this is what I used last week, or not last week, last season. I used the Skull team. But again, there are plenty of good teams for you guys. I'm gonna show you guys real quick, just in case you be like, yo, Marilli, I don't have Tristan, I don't have Skull, but you probably have these other teams. So here we are on Game With site, and you can see these are some other cool teams that people use on the last season of Lioness Defense, which really doesn't really change much. But again, these are some really good team. I'm kind of debating on what team I want to run, either Goddess team or Demons. Again, because you gotta understand, with Goddess team, if you use like Meliodas and Elizabeth, at least you get like the healing factor that is involved with their passive for you running a full Goddess team. But I know with Demons, you have the full DPS power and Demon King shield to protect you, which could be really nice. I might go with Demons, but we'll see. But let's make our team and see how this goes. All right, let's go with the Goddess team. Again, this should give us a little bit of support. Again, if you ever play Lioness Defense, you know you want to try to build up for your gear. But you gotta know what you want for your characters. Again, Marilli is obviously gonna be an offensive character. We're gonna use their talent, because again, their talent is gonna allow us to get a shield, which can protect us. And obviously, we can deal high amounts of damage afterwards. And then we have Mael, who's obviously there for support. And then, you know, Tristan can do good amount of damage as well. And then we have Sariel for if they don't do any damage to us, we get an attack buff. And, you know, you have ult control as well. And again, it looks like they also got a little shop as well where you get abilities and stuff, which is pretty cool. And if you ever play Lioness Defense, you know, you just want to roll for some gears. Again, it's always important on what you want for your specific character, though, just so you can obviously get the max amount of levels on them. Even if it's gear you're not really going to use, or know you're not going to use, it's always best to still use it, because again, you want to try to get those levels as much as possible. Like I said, for Marilli, I'm just going to try to go for attack for her if I ever pull it, which seems like it's almost impossible. And again, like I said before, we're just gonna merge these two together just to get some more levels. And again, I know I'm not gonna use any of these things, so I'm probably gonna eventually just sell it, because again, I'm not gonna need it. Again, it's more important just to go for the levels and just roll as much as possible. We can definitely go for attack for damage on this. Now my Tristan is a little bit underwhelming. Oh wait, nice, we got another level. Okay, so let's get to it. Looking at our passives. Now the reason why I got Marilli's talent over Tristan is because after playing with the AI for a bit, it seemed like the AI does not want to use Tristan talent or attack unless at a specific spot. I don't know. It's like sometimes the AI want to use Tristan, and then sometimes the AI literally chooses not to use Tristan cards at all. I don't know if it has to do with like positioning or something, but I definitely had a couple runs where literally the AI would not use Tristan cards at all. So I think it'd be more valuable to use Marilli's talent than Tristan currently right now. All right, so let's get into it. Obviously, with my team, we're gonna be using the Goddess team. And, you know, we just pretty much just re-rolling a little bit. Obviously, you don't really matter about the re-roll and anything like that in terms of your gear. You're just pretty much just going for levels. Obviously, in terms of the late game, that's when it starts really mattering on what type of gear you're going to be re-rolling for. But obviously, for the early stages, you're just more focused on getting your levels up on your characters and getting a little bit more extra stats. And again, we ain't gonna be doing like every single fight. Obviously, I'm gonna be skipping through a lot of these, especially me when I'm re-rolling my, obviously my gears and stuff like that for my characters. I'm not gonna be showcasing all of it all the time, but for the most part, Lioness defense is super easy currently right now, especially because there are just so many good teams you could run. Again, a lot of teams are really powerful against the fights, so it's very easy for you to win without having to get the maximum amount of gear for your team. So if you end up just getting very unlucky, don't stress too much about not getting the right gear. Obviously, you want 2 characters at least to get those attack gears or attack crit damage pressed if possible. Usually your main one for, if you're going to use this team, is going to be for Marilli or Tristan to get those attack. For me, I lean more so of getting Tristan the attack, just because again, Tristan seemingly on this team was actually attacking more than when I was trying on other teams. I don't know if it's because of the way the positioning of the characters play a part in terms of the AI. I know sometimes when it comes to farming and stuff like that, depending on however your character is positioned, the AI will kind of use their cards a lot more frequently, or at least first. Because I know when I was using Tristan before, and he was in the first slot, I kid you not, chat, he would never use a card. It took like 3 or 4 turns for him to finally use a card when he was in that first slot. And I was trying to use the goddess team because I wanted to use his talent, but it just seemed like he would never use his attack cards to get that maximum damage. So that's why I kind of just opted out onto using Marilli, just because again, they do provide that shield. And again, once that shield is gone, then they'll get that Sword of Judgment, which allowed them to hit even harder against bosses, especially depending on if you are getting your dupes up as well from the awakening system, like this one right here. It's really good for Marilli because obviously they'll hit a lot harder. And again, I kind of like this little shop area as well. Pretty nice, especially for late game, because again, in late game, you're able to kind of get more and more passives that could be very beneficial for your runs. Again, it's not really, again, like I said before, it's not really needed to do all those things, but again, if you got the extra currency, you might as well use it up. I think it's way better for the late game to use your currency on those passives, the passives in the shop, or the what you call it, the other types of passives that you get that you can reroll for. Dang, I'm trying to think of the name for it, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's like better to use up your currency as much as possible without having to reroll all the gear, because I know rerolling the gear becomes very annoying because again, you can get really unlucky, and because of that, you might think that you can't, you're wasting too much time doing it. And again, it is beneficial to at least get, like, you know, a couple maxed out gear, which is the one that you see that are like pinkish. Those are like maxed out from the re-rolling. Obviously right now it's currently sped up by a lot because again, this takes a while. But eventually I kind of just stopped trying to re-roll, just because again, you can see my Tristan is literally one-shotting the characters or the mobs. So eventually I'll end up just pretty much stop caring about re-rolling, because again, my characters are already super strong. I'm more so focused on like leveling up my characters at this point. But again, my characters levels are still kind of underwhelming, especially for Sariel. Sariel is still level 60 and we're on round 61. So that just shows you how often I pretty much didn't try to merge gears for Sariel than I did the other 3 characters that's on my team, which is fine because again, Sariel is just there for support anyways. But again, you really want to try to make sure all of your characters are max level, especially because again, it provides more stats and it will make it less likely for your characters to die. But again, it's no big deal, especially when you saw like Tristan literally one-shotting the boss every single time. I wonder if did I do the same thing when I had the Skull team? Did I make sure every character was like level 100? Because the Skull team that I used last season, kind of the most easiest team I've ever ran. Just because again, Skull counter, which is like literally just one-shotting the boss, and it really sucked because again, Skull counter happens before you even attack, so the boss would attack and then just get blasted, especially because it bypasses damage cap as well too. So that was kind of easy. Again, if you do, again, I don't know if they countered or nerf Skull in this, but I know sometimes when a counter character is just so powerful for PvE activities, then that's when you get like, yo, 1000% damage reduction for the boss using counters or something like that. So again, I don't know if they did that for any of these bosses where there's like a damage reduction on counters. I would think not, just because again, they usually want it to be as easy as possible. Because again, it provides you free gems and LR coins, which is very helpful, especially because they do have the new LR collection hero system, which again is just for people who just want to collect LRs at this point. Or I guess you can say build it out a little bit of the LRs, make them a little bit useful in terms of stats. Obviously, from what we've seen with the LR collection heroes, they have some terrible passives where it's pretty much not even worthwhile at that point. But this is one that I was like talking about, like you got this new little shop where you can use your currency. And again, I think that's pretty more valuable in late game, especially when you don't feel like re-rolling all the time. Again, like I said before, you want to at least make sure multiple characters are maxed out in terms of gear. Like you see, like right now you see I am trying to attempt to max out my gear, but I'm not going for specific ones. Like technically I'm supposed to go for attack for damage or attack all in general for Marilli, Mayo, and Tristan. But you can see right now I'm using HP defense on my Mayo, just because again, those are the ones that I kind of already got. So I might as well use it as I have it now, because I don't want to end up re-rolling too much and then it becomes me just sitting on the screen re-rolling for hours looking for attack. Like if I get HP defense, I'm just gonna opt out on using HP defense on my L and just leave it at that, because my team is already like really stacked up now, especially with all of me leveling up and getting stats and stuff like that. Most I'm doing right now is finishing out the awakening system, where I'm just trying to get the awakening stars for my characters, just so I get even more stats. Right now, currently, Ellie is probably the one that's the lowest one right now, because I think it still said it was stuck at 3 or level 3 ults. But we want them maxed out. And as I was saying, like, it doesn't really matter too much as long as 2 of your characters are really putting in some work. As long as you have maxed out gear sets, that's perfectly fine. Like right now, my gear set isn't really nuking the boss like I did before. And that's okay, because I think the Goddess team is the most safest team to run in PvP currently. Not PvP, Lioness defense. Just because again, you can heal. And because I'm using Ellie's talent as well, I also have a shield to provide for my team. So that's even more support for my team. But again, this is what I was saying, where you have like the new shop where you can just spend some of your extra currency that you get. Which again, like I said before, late game, a lot of your currency becomes pointless unless you are a person who have nothing better to do but to sit at the screen and re-roll all day. Me, I'm trying to go to sleep. So I'm not trying to re-roll all day just to make sure everybody's attacked when I can just efficiently beat it regardless, right? But that's why I just opted out on using the shop instead of just re-rolling a million times. But I know there are going to be some guy, some person who plays grandcross all day who's going to be trying to re-roll for perfect pink on everything or something, you know? But I can tell you right now, I am not trying to do that. I'm going to use the shop because I'm getting a lot of currency. I'm using the shop. I'm getting all the passives and effects that I need to reliably defeat the boss. And again, most of the time you can stack it as well. So if you get like, I don't know, like the 2 gauge passive 2 times, now you get to stack it, and now you can start off with 4 gauge. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say in late games, I feel like the shop is very efficient for people who don't want to reroll all day, but you have a lot of extra currency. Like I could have bought a lot more passives as well, but I just opted out on just a couple passives and just leaving it at that. Obviously, because I play JP, I have to kind of translate everything. So that's why you see me pretty much stopping, because again, I'm translating on the passives that I want, and then obviously getting it. And you can see I'm showing you the passives that I currently have. And again, they working really well. And I think the shop system is going to make it really, really easy. And then I'm going to show you guys right now. You can see this is my current setup. I'm on the 99th floor. And I'm about to get to 100. And as you can see, I barely have any maxed out spots. Especially for Marilli. Marilli only has like 2 maxed out spots. And you see I started with 4 gauge. That's kind of crazy, right? I literally have like literally no maxed out spot on Marilli, and I'm probably just gonna be destroying the boss. Crazy. And the good thing about having Sariel, the red one, is that not only do I get a attack buff if he doesn't do damage, but you also have ult control. And again, Mael also can provide like the 1 damage debuff and stuff like that, which is really nice, especially if you somehow don't get the ult gauge control. You can just 1 damage debuff the boss. And that's pretty much it. That's 100 floors on Lioness Defense. If you do 100, that should give you enough to clear out the entire shop other than the gold boxes. You can see I'm just clearing it up. And yeah, that is me doing Lioness with the Goddess team. Hope you guys enjoy. Just really guys, I'm out. Peace.